welcome back to We Are the Fall. I'm Gavin,
And I'm Steve.
and we're getting into side B of Levitate from 1997, the Falls LP on Artful Records. And before we do that, let's get into the album art. And to start it off, let's get into Tommy Crooks, who created this album art and who is also in the band at this point. He is playing guitar, but it's interesting how he comes into the band because it's a good story. And let's get into it. So Tommy Crooks he's like walking around and he's in art college and his favorite band is The Fall. And he's walking around town one day and he sees Marky Smith and he says, I approached him and I said hello. And they're my favorite band. So a few days later, I got a postcard from Mark, and then I sent him some photographs of my paintings, and I didn't hear anything for about a year. And then a letter arrived saying, sorry for not crediting you on the album cover. And with a CD of the 27 Points album, I looked inside, and there was my painting. Crooks kept in touch with Marky Smith, and he noticed at one point that Craig Scanlon was like missing from one of the album's photos. And he was like, "Huh, that's interesting." He's like, "That could only mean one thing in fall terms, and that's probably that Craig is no longer around." And what he did was he called up the Cog Sinister offices and he said, "Hey, I noticed Craig isn't, around, and if he isn't, like, I'm available to play if you need me or whatever." And he thought it was just gonna be like, like it would just be that, and
Yeah,
then it would be done.
fuck off, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But then he said several months later, they called and he's like, and I got basically a message saying, "Can you play in Manchester in 2 weeks' time? Here's a list of the songs we'll be playing." And he had to learn all the songs in pretty much like no time. and it turns out that when they played the gig, they didn't play any of those songs. They played all new songs.
Great, great. That's awesome. I mean, hey, that's like half of what you need to do, though, is just learn
Yeah. Yep,
the
that's what it
basic,
is.
learn the
Yeah,
basic ritual.
yeah. And Tommy also says Steve Hanley and Simon Wollstonecroft, the bass player and the drummer in The Fall, are the best rhythm unit you can find anywhere this side of Sly and Robbie. But you could see them working on a tune, and then Mark would just bowl in and say, "All right, lads, play this bit that way, speed it up there, and do it like this." And suddenly it would be The Fall. He was a genius like that. I mean, that's really cool insight into the band and like something you don't really hear that explicitly, right?
No, yeah,
About
it's a
what's going on.
good tidbit, right? Where you're like,
Mhm.
what was his influence outside of the lyrics? And I mean,
Mhm.
you watch him, he's active, he's engaged, he's moving things around, he's touching things, and maybe he's just fucking it up for fucking it up's sake, but like he also has an ear and a vision for
Yeah.
what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And the fact that they all not only put up with it, but like listened shows that they did realize his insight and his
Oh, yeah.
creativity. Like, oh yeah, you're right. Like this does sound better this way, right? Like, or
Right. And maybe not even in the moment, but then they were like, after a pattern emerges, like where it's done, or they're playing it live or something, and they're like, huh, it does lock in better this way, right? Or with a
yeah,
little
or
direction, we're not all playing our parts, it's all playing together.
it sounds like us, right? Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this is the noise that we make.
And even with that little bit of direction from Mark or an outside entity, because he kind of is, even though he's in the band, he's kind of an outside force in that what he says is kind of like the authoritative power that kind of coalesces everything else together. So it's it's
And
it's just cool. Like,
he's kind of the outsider too, right? Because he's
uh-huh.
not there during most of it. He's not
Yep.
engaged in the nitty gritty,
Mm.
but then he comes in and adjusts what was created.
Yeah. Because it's like, yeah, you're right. It's because they're putting together songs and they're bringing them to the band, or they're working on them as a band, and then the final input that kind of like like finds up the edges and that structures it a little bit is what really makes the band come together and make the song like this is the final version, right? And then that's what they go on for a long, long time. So let's go into Tommy Krug's artwork for Levitate, and he did the artwork for Levitate and also for the Masquerade, the single, which is basically the same thing with the colors changed. But we're gonna focus on the LP artwork. And Steve, what is going on this Levitate cover?
Some sort of guy, the
Yeah.
a tinfoil hat man with
Yes. A
almost like
tin.
an alien-esque, like
Mm,
Mars kind of landscape.
mhm.
Got big letters, the fall, and then
Yep.
levitate kind of broken up throughout it.
Yep.
Red background with tinfoil hat man covering his whole face and head. Interesting.
The hands pointing outward, right? The hands pointed outward in a V or almost like it's kind of in a very interesting gesture where it might be receiving something, but it could also be fending off something that's coming at it.
Yeah, almost, yeah, like it's kind of like a catching or just like
Yeah.
showing my hands are empty
Mhm. Yep.
sort of thing
Catching a football.
right in your mouth.
You're not unless he's the goalie, you're not using that in on the pitch, right? You're not gonna be catching it like that. What do you like this?
Yeah.
As a fall audience?
Do I like it? Yeah, I do. I don't know. It's not really much like anything else
Hmm,
they've done.
that's what
Uh,
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The
so yeah, I mean,
I'm digging it. I'm digging it. It's
I don't.
bizarre,
It's bizarre. Yeah, that's
like
what I
the
mean.
album.
Like the album, bizarre. It is it. I mean, it's real, right? It's a photograph.
Yeah, it looks like kind of like they made it and photographed it and then, like, really saturated it. The contrast is, like, down, so it's all blending together. There are some, like, trees in the background of a landscape, and then they made it a little kind of like a cutout mountain-esque kind of, like, cutout where the Levitate text is.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like Mars to me, and like just the redness, I guess, is what
Yeah.
is making me feel that way. But
I'm kind of happy they cut off the top of the hat because, honestly, if the top of the tinfoil hat is in a point, that's very much like a KKK kind
hood,
of hood, and I don't think they're going for that, so I think they might have cut that off, but there's also, like, weird like, does it have teeth or does it not have teeth? It's, like, kind of weird, like
or like, what's is that its head, or is it a mask, right? Like, I mean,
yeah,
obviously,
masquerade.
yeah, there you go. I'd love to know who had to put that on for the photograph.
I just assume it's Tommy, but Tommy is the art director, so maybe he was the directing the person putting that on. It looks like the person now that I'm looking at it really closely, the album cover, it looks like the person has long hair, like a woman. I can see strands of hair coming down behind the left hand. Do you see that? See that hair strands
Yeah,
coming
I
down?
don't know. Maybe the
Yeah. Or maybe it's
shadow.
I don't know. It looks like hair strands to me. Maybe it's Julia. Who knows? It's long hair.
Those are
I
pretty.
can't tell.
Those are pretty big hands. I don't know. Those hands don't look feminine to me.
Uh, yeah, it's hard to say.
But
It could
then
be good
flip it, flip
keyboard
it,
fingers.
flip it over though.
Okay, let's flip it to the back.
Yeah, that's definitely a guy. He's too big to be a woman.
Okay, let's go to the let's go to the
Look at
back.
it.
And there's
Look at his huge biceps. Damn, that guy is ripped.
see, I don't think this is the same person. I think this is I because I think they painted on that thing on the back. Oh, no, it kinda looks like they just lightened it up to make it you'd think that it is the same thing. It's a hood, and then it's standing next this figure is standing next to a horse.
A horse. Oh, I didn't even see the horse.
Oh,
Damn.
come on, you got to see the
Yeah,
horse.
I know I missed the whole horse because of
You knew,
the white shadow at the top.
yeah, yeah. It's a horse in a pen,
A
and
massive horse. That thing is that's
yeah,
like a fucking Clydesdale.
it's like it looks like a Clydesdale. It looks like a Scottish horse because it's got the
Yeah,
extra hair.
that thing is huge. So
Yeah,
that's not Julia. There's no way she's that tall. It's got to
yeah,
be the same guy. I mean, maybe that's not. Maybe it's just the same guy in the clothes, but the helmet has been removed and they just blocked out his face. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like whited it out.
yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking also they might have got someone different from the front and the back, and they had to go get another picture for the back. Once they
They're
were like,
not.
"We're using that.
They
We're
don't work
using
that.
that."
They don't work that hard. She's got that jumper on. He's definitely the same guy in the back.
Either way, I like it. I like it. It's something totally different, and we only get it here because moving forward, we don't get that much Tommy Crooks
He's
at all.
gone, right? I was gonna
Yeah.
say this was a
Yep.
one and done for him. I mean,
Yep.
what a claim to fame. Let's go find him and interrogate his ass and see
Man,
what he's
that's
got
kinda
to say.
cool. That's cool, that's cool, and also, we're gonna get into in the early 2000s some I hate to say one and done album band members, but there's band members that are more or less in the band for a while, but they're only on one album, and they're good albums, so I think that says a lot too, that getting in the fresh blood and then getting that experience and then them going away is it's kind of a godsend for the fall where it's just like, now we have a unique thing that's in the discography that is not part of like a continuum. It's just kind of like pokes out as a unique thing. So, Steve, let's flip it over. Side B, what are we leading off with? Original or a cover?
Oh, of course, a cover. Why
Okay.
wouldn't you start your B side with a cover?
Yeah.
We have Jungle Rock.
I was walking through the jungle just the other night. When I heard a big rumble and I thought it was a fire. I lost all volition and began to move my feet. It was a jungle drummer doing a knockdown beat. It was a jungle rock. Jungle rock. Jungle rock. Jungle rock. A knockdown beat and a jump down set. It was a jungle rock. Well, I moved a little closer just to get a better view.
It is a Harry Menzel cover.
Mhm.
Hank Mizell. Go find the original and watch some sexy jungle hunters and some silly animals run around.
Yeah, because the original, I give it to the fall because the fall version sounds nothing remotely like the original. Maybe a little bit of like the guitar
His
riffing.
delivery and the guitar is similar, but
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, and I like the guitar.
the speed is different.
Why is Mark getting into the jungle rock? It kind of it kind of fits alongside the I'm a Mummy, doesn't it?
Yeah, the same kind of I don't know, just that kind of silly surf rock vibe, I
Mhm.
guess. I
Mhm.
mean, like
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
doesn't I don't know. This is fine, but it doesn't make sense
No.
really. Like why they had these two kind of poppy songs in the mix of this
Yes.
noise mix.
Imagine this album with just all original fall songs and not the 2 covers, and you got a 12-track album that's really, really interesting and good. And you got these 2 just poking their heads out and like, "A hippo Jurassic Park will do it on the hop." Well, the big, big bounce was making me hop. That it doesn't sound like Mark. It was probably fun to play. Probably
Yeah.
really fun to play.
It's just, I don't know. It's a CD age, right? Like, fill this thing up.
Yeah, fill
The
this
more
sucker up.
songs, the better, I guess. I don't know. I'm not chasing it.
I'm not chasing it either. I'm not
I
chasing
mean,
it. Oh,
I guess I was in 1997 when you're like, yeah, the more tracks, the better. Let's go. I'll play this thing to the end and listen for that secret track that you put on there.
yeah. The thing I like about the original Jungle Rack song is that it has a little bit of a country vibe to it and a country feel. And as happy as I am that the Fall just tried to do something totally of their own, I would kind of wish Mark would do some of that country little, you know, two-step. Because I would have seen Mark do jungle rock in a country style. That would be way more fun. Yeah, that is what it is, isn't it?
It's there.
It's there. It's there. It's on the track list. But now let's go into something really fun and one of my favorite tracks on the entire album. Let's get into Old Gang. So it's very telling that my favorite musically track on this album is is the only one credited to Smith, Wollstonecraft, and Hanley, the trifecta of the musicality. And it's obviously it's not the strongest lyrically. And I honestly really hypothesize that Mark just made up all those lyrics on the spot in one take.
This could have been another instrumental and been great.
Yes. I
Uh,
always think it is. I
it,
always think it is.
you
And
would have
then it comes in.
you would have missed it
Yeah.
if it wasn't there for sure. Yeah, sounds awesome though. The whole thing is odd, but just draws you in.
I like the lo-fi-ness to it. I like the single piano notes. It reminds me of the Stooges with just a single piano note plucking along. The 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 rest of the track, the backing track is so good by itself. It could have been an instrumental. Mark doesn't start lyrics until more than halfway through the song. And then this track also has probably the least amount of lyrics on any of the tracks that have lyrics. So it's for me, it's like the coolest and the most fun sounding fall song on this album. Even though I wish the lyrics were better, it's still like one of my favorites just to listen to that over and over again.
I got there's quite a bit of comments for a short lyrical song, so they want to. They're talking about the old gang breaking up. Gene Vincent, one of Mark's favorites. Mark says, I call it married with two kids. Got married, got a mortgage, can't afford to take risks. I've seen it in the Manchester scene. Groups trying to do what someone else has done because it's safer.
Hmm.
So the jungle rock starts with, I was walking through the jungle just the other night. Well, I heard a big
Yeah.
a rumble. I thought it was a fight.
Hmm.
Then they also go into reference Sean Wayne's Texas funeral. I went into a bar just the other night. I got into one hell of a fight. And then this is just the weirdest thing. It says Mark paraphrases Wayne's, but I've got Texas in Greenway. I had to jack off the dog just to feed the goddamn cat. Only the animals switch positions the first time and the goddamn becomes fucking.
Uh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I never.
Yeah.
I gotta
All
go back.
right.
I gotta go look up what I got Texas. I had to jack off the dog just to feed the goddamn cat.
Yeah. Man, I'm not really getting the scene in this one because I'm getting just like the old gang is just like they're fighting each other. They're fighting each other around the city. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Like the gangs of the bands. I can kind of see that the management. He does shout out the management and the programs, but this is just sounds like Mark, walking down the street, but also just sitting in the vocal booth and just doing a little play on
Yeah,
it.
just
Yeah.
going off. I mean, well, and just like what he's feeling, right? Like it's 1997. He's going out to his pubs and
Hmm.
they ain't around anymore. The old gang
Yeah.
isn't there.
Yeah.
He's the odd old drunk guy in the corner. Like he's not fitting in and he's not happy.
Yeah, and turning the corner into a fist fight is kind of like, I didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't do nothing wrong. They just started fighting me for no reason. But then, like, all the bystanders are like, yeah, you're kind of like you're punching the wall and you're shadow boxing because
Yeah.
the interviewer was not asking you good questions. Yeah. I mean, that's is a good song. It's a great song. And it kind of maybe more or less says why Mark thought it was necessary to put the jungle rock in, maybe as a reference to referencing the next song. Like I could see that as like a little play that he's put in together. That was almost an instrumental. What do you think about a instrumental demo style song next?
I'm ready. I kind of became a little bit obsessed with this one.
Yeah. Let's get it.
For
Let's get into this one.
yeah, let's play it and see what you think.
Tragic Days.
I don't know why it it drew me in so much. It's just weird.
It's definitely
Credited
sticking out.
sticking out, right? Like, and I was like, what is going on with this? And so it is credited to Marky Smith and Martin Brown,
Yes.
which is odd. It's
Yeah.
1997. He hasn't been in the band since 1990s or 1990
Early
or
1990s. Yep.
early 1990s. Where is this coming from? Curious. Why, how Mark doesn't give credits anywhere, anyways. So why is he on there?
Right.
And so Martin Brahma confirmed here that Tragic Days was recorded on an old stereo cassette machine at my flat in Whalley Range, Manchester, sometime in early 1990. We were working on an idea of Craig's to which I may have contributed something. It was just a work in progress type of thing with no title that was never finished as such. When it was released in Levitate in 97, I think Mark credited me as the writer, but as I said, it was Craig's really. Given the title of the song and the poor recording quality, I don't think he was doing me any favors, really. As
Mm.
far as writing credits goes, it's always a bit of a hit or miss with The Fall as Mark. Never asks any band members who wrote that. He just issues writing credits as he sees fit at the time.
Yeah. See, that makes so much sense because he has the recording. It's really an interesting track in itself because it's a cool title and it sounds like it's a cool song or a little demo of a song. He has the recording of it and you can even hear sound.
Yeah, and like the birds, the knocking at the door, like I mean, it's
And
And
then see, yeah,
the low fineness and
yeah,
the oddities of it all, you're like, why is this on here? Where did this come from? I
time.
was hoping it was like a super old, like, early, like tape that he just found somewhere.
Hmm.
He's like, great. This is from 1980,
Hmm.
like, but 1990, not as bad.
Yeah, but it's so weird because you almost hear like his hands moving around the cassette recorder. I perceive it as him playing the cassette recorder into a microphone. And the question I have also is why couldn't they elevate the track level because it's so low, right? Compared to
Yeah.
every other song. Why couldn't they even boost it up? I mean, I'm sure it would just have been all like room hiss, air hiss, whatever, but it almost sounds being a Marky Smith produced album that he really just put a microphone next to his tape recorder and played the tape, and then like that was it. And then his hand is moving around, and you hear like a little bit of jostling artifacts of his hands, like next to the microphone, next to the tape recorder, like moving around. And it also makes so much sense too that he credits Martin Brama for this. Even he recorded it, but saying it's Craig's kind of song, it kind of makes sense even if he was aware or not aware because it's been so long that Craig just left the band. He's not going to give Craig a writing credit right after he left the band, right? So what's he going to give
Yeah.
the credit to? The one that he knows actually recorded it.
And he actually put his name on there this time. But it just makes me think more about who he gave writing credits to. Was he thinking about it? Was he, it was somewhat vindictive, like who's in his good
Hmm.
graces, who's
Hmm.
gonna get credits, but or was he just like listening to the tracks and then like guessing
Yeah.
who was on it
Yeah.
or
Yes.
who did the most work? Like, oh yeah, that sounds like Hanley did a whole lot of work on
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna put him down for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I don't know. It's guitar mostly, so yeah, it was probably Martin. Was it conscious or was it just purely whoever was in his good graces at the time?
Yeah, I think it's that perfect kind of balance of of methodical and also forgetful. I think it's the
Yeah,
perfect balance because there's so many tracks that we've listened to over the course of the discography so far where we're like, wow, that is such an apparent like song that like Steve Hanley wrote. Like it's or the song relies so heavily on that one part and he could have listened to the song and probably picked that out, but at the same time he's listening to the song in a totally different way than probably everyone else in the world because he is him and he is like listening in a particular way where it's going to be credited in whatever way is going through that sphere like that kind of I don't know that prism that's
yeah. It's kind of
coming
going off
through.
of Tommy Cook's, where it's like, yeah, they wrote it, but if I didn't edit it the way I did, then they wouldn't have got this song. So it's mine.
Yeah,
I'm the sole credit.
yeah, and I do wonder about Tommy Crooks as well because he said that he's like it's my favorite band. I'll learn the songs, and then he did learn the songs. But then, how much was Tommy Crooks involved, or was he just playing along with the pre-made kind of ideas that were brought to the band? Because he's kind of on the edge of the band, right? So is he just adding the little guitar riffs? And even Andy Hackett is credited as playing guitar too. And I don't know who's playing what on these tracks. And I'm kind of like, eh, it at some point it doesn't matter because it all sounds great together. And the fact that I can't tell stylistically which guitar player is which is a great thing. But then at the same time, that's gonna make it if I can't tell and Mark was there and knew it, and then whenever he had to put up the credits, he had to pick it, it's kind of easy for him to just be like, "Nah, no, I'm not giving it to anyone.
Yeah, no, it's mine.
It's mine. It's mostly mine." Yeah, and Julia's.
Yeah, and
Oh,
and
yeah.
my girlfriend's because she wants it. I was gonna say, and Andy Hackett seems like he's actually a professional guitarist, so maybe he was. I don't know.
Hmm.
Tommy Cook doesn't seem like he. Yes, so if he's from Norwich, he's been in a bunch of bands there. Runs a
Tell
guitar
us
shop.
runs what?
Runs a guitar shop on Denmark Street. Angel Music.
Oh, cool.
All right, let's see, did. Yeah, so the bigger than average armpits, 18 yellow roses, love explosions and milk.
Bigger than average armpits. That's
Yeah,
a
that's a good
fucking
band
great
name.
name. That is
Yeah,
a great band name. I've never heard anything close to that. That is a perfect band name. Wow.
he left Norwich for London in 1987. He joined the Rocking Birds and the Edwyn Collins band.
Okay.
He still plays for the Edwyn Collins band.
Okay, cool. Both of those names sound like, straight up rock and roll bands. So, yeah, that's cool. The bigger than average armpits. I gotta get it. Maybe we gotta do a little side journey into that one because that would be kind of fun. All right, Steve, what do we got? We only got 3 tracks left, and like I'm saying, I don't know how you're feeling. Actually, tell me how you're feeling about this B side so far. We're halfway
Good,
through.
good. We're halfway through. We're good. Odd to start on a cover, but I guess maybe Mark thought it played into the old gang.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the old gang was great in
Mm-hmm.
its sound,
Yeah.
but then just kind of disappears in between the two of those tracks, I feel like.
Okay.
But we got 3 more, and we're gonna come out on top, I think.
Okay. Let's go. I
Let's
come.
go.
Yeah.
I come and stand at your door. Do you recognize this tune?
No.
No, I mean it sounds exactly like
Bob Dylan.
it's the same beat from Jap Kid.
Oh yeah. No.
The
Yeah.
same
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
keyboard.
Yeah. 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 This is what I'm saying though. Like this once again, I'm asking. Once again, I'm asking you for a real piano.
Yeah.
I come see you, I knock on your door and ask you, please, sir, can I use your parlor piano to just record these 3, 4 notes, please, sir? And then no one hears my plea, my silent plea. And I have to go back to the studio and get on that Yamaha digital piano, which at the time was probably like very cutting edge. They're probably like, man, it sounds so much like a real piano that I don't think we need to even bother. It's like the technology has surpassed the actual sound. It actually sounds better. It actually sounds it actually sounds like a piano that we played in heaven.
Yeah, well,
When children die, they do not grow. I
yeah.
woke one day to ash and light.
So this is credited to Anon, Nagel and Anon. So Julia
Yes.
Nagel and Anon. And its origin is from a poem by a Turkish writer, Nazim Hikmet Ran.
Hmm.
It's called The Little Girl, and it's from the perspective of a dead child who perished in the Hiroshima nuclear bomb.
Oh.
So Pete Seeger stole a melody from it.
Oh, so it's kind of Bob Dylan adjacent.
Yeah, so Pete Seeger stole a melody from an MIT student from the occasion and recorded it by the Birds and Fifth Dimension.
Oh yeah, the fifth dimension. Yeah. Huh.
It's not identical. And then that makes sense for the piano to be called Jap Kid,
Hmm.
which is not necessarily politically correct anymore, but that's okay. So here's the poem. It is me knocking at your door. At how many doors I've been, but no one can see me, since the dead are invisible. I died at Hiroshima. That was 10 years ago. I'm a girl of 7. Dead children do not grow. First, my hair caught fire. Then my eyes burnt out. I became a handful of ashes, blown away by the wind.
Mm-hmm.
I do not wish anything for myself. For a child who is burnt to cinders cannot even eat sweets. I am
Mm,
knocking at your doors, aunts and uncles, to get your signatures so that never again children will burn, and so they
right.
can eat sweets.
Yeah. There's particles of that in this song. There is, right? But then they're begging for the fruit and the rice and the bread or the meat. And yeah, and the line that gets you is the one that's like, "My eyes grew dim as my" in the song, "My eyes grew dim, my eyes grew bright. Death came and turned my bones to dust and scattered swirling in the wind." That's really interesting. So, it is the story of warning and pleading of to not repeat the offense again. It's interesting because without that back context, which is really good, is originally I'm taking this as just a standard beggar going to the doors, right? Or even I there's a religious connotation that I get from it without that context of the poem, which is like the religious connotation where it's like asking for the volunteers to provide for the needy at the doors and no one is opening their doors. So it's really good. It's really good in everything. He doesn't go that far into the actual poem though, you know? I mean, there's parts of it, but it's kind of there on the edge of it has more interpretations the way that The Fall has done it here.
Yeah, very, very simplified version. Seeger's song is somewhat similar. It does mention Hiroshima, swirling flame.
Yeah. See, he goes more direct with it.
He goes, "Yeah, I need no fruit. I need no rice. I need no sweets or even bread.
Mhm.
I ask for nothing for myself, for I am dead. For I am dead."
So it's almost a combination of the original poem and Seeger's. So that's really cool. Yeah. So that's also very interesting too, because it's Mark going through the lineage of the poem to song form to his song form and the band song form. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's cool because he is such a like literary and pop culture and like he it seems like he does his homework to tie all these things in together, right? Like he's not
Mhm.
just all over the place. He's not just creating this nonsense. I mean, there's a lot of thought and energy that goes into his creations that makes it all the better for what you get.
Mhm. Just going through the filter of a Marky Smith is makes it its own thing, which is the most beautiful part. It's not him just doing I mean, just to juxtapose it to it's not just him doing jungle rock, I mean, even jungle rock, he's taking liberties. So, there's never gonna be the instance where a cover or a reference to a thing is a exact direct reference in the song, and that is probably why we have the fall forum and we have everything every sort of community member that's a fall head that wants to go deeper. It's just like so rewarding.
Exactly. There is a deeper,
Mhm,
which is cool and
mhm,
which makes you love it and want to know all of it. Like, yeah, like on tragic days, like I just like put it on Reddit. I was like, "Hey, what's up with this?" And everyone just goes back to the Steve Pringle book, which I have sitting on my nightstand, and was just a lazy researcher. But here's what he says. But yeah, Danny No comes in and answers my questions, and it's the community is some of the is probably the best part of it all. I mean, the music is
Hmm.
fantastic, but like this community and this thoughtfulness and intrigue and curiosity is just so cool for what we're doing and the things we've learned.
Yeah, exactly. It's not, and it's also never met with a question or inquiry about what something is or supposedly is never met with, why don't you just go look it up? Or it's never met with something like a hostile voice, at least that we've experienced. And I'm sure there are particular instances where that is the case. But it is, yeah, totally with you because it's totally refreshing where it's like, this person is interested in, like, anyone that talks to us that we know, only what we know or what we've experienced or what we've looked up ourselves or researched, and if someone asks us, we're like, "Thank you for being inquisitive because that is of the same mindset that we are," and I think that's what's appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, we're having fun.
Yeah.
We're certainly not the experts. We're having fun, going into the music more so, I think, than a lot of the community does. Not that they don't like the music, but the lyrics are what really drives people, and I think the music is what brought us here, but
Mhm.
the whole kit and caboodle is what makes the fall awesome.
Right, exactly. Totally spot on. So, speaking of the music, Steve, let's get into the penultimate track. Let's get into the namesake of the album. Let's get levitated.
In the conservatory, I looked at him. He was a Jason to me. I told about my debts. He was talking about his house in the Lake District. Come levitate. In the greater hospital, my friend said HNO times 3 to the north. That's what you think.
What are you taking out of that?
Okay, so I said that Old Gang is my favorite musical, song on the album. This is my favorite song on the album. Musically and lyrically, this is all getting together and coming to the perfect kind of plateau of a great fall song. And it for me, I whenever I listen to this, I love the story of sitting adjacent to a guy that is well off, the way it starts, and him talking about his lake house or his, maybe his holiday house or whatever in the Lake District, and he's just thinking main character is thinking about his debts, his own debts, and then it's going, "Come levitate, let's get above this together," right? And I take it as togetherness, but it could also be one of the characters telling the other character to levitate, or maybe the main character saying, levitate above that. It's not about the house that you have. It's not about the lack of debt. It's about getting above that and getting to a realm where that's all meaningless, which it all is, and just getting to a place where appreciating the things that are of interest and that are of intrigue to being a human being. That's what I get out of this one. And I love every part of it. And I love that it's fucking so concise and it's so poignant in just the limited amount of time that it goes on. Beautiful.
Yeah, the shortness with the music and the lyrics really make it this concise product, which it's not often this way where the lyrics and the music truly combine to create that quick song that is slow but short.
Mm, mhm. Yeah.
Smith and Nagel are credited on it, which I don't know. I don't buy that, but
Yeah, I don't either because the guitar is so interesting. Whoever is playing that guitar in the song is it's really kind of a cool, interesting little texture. And it's a weird mix because the drums are so loud, but then Mark is so present and the guitar is in the background that I would have it a little bit different way, but that at the same time it does kind of perfectly kind of get the point across where the groove is propulsive forward and it's important that you hear the words and it's only important that that texture of the guitar is just in there as a little texture to kind of tie those two main things together. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of it it brings me even like to my life where like I work for an orthopedic surgeon and he has like houses and things like that where you're like, oh, you're talking about all these things, and yet I don't live that life. I don't, like
Yeah.
I don't have three houses. I don't do these things. Like the juxtaposition of people that you deal with on a regular basis. Like I like that there's not the anger in the interaction, right? Like, I
Mm,
mean, typically he's so pissed off and everyone's out to ruin
yeah.
him, or
Hmm.
everyone that's doing something different or better or worse or whatever is in the wrong. And like this is just kind of a worldly view of it, or not a worldly view, but of a personal like interaction.
The talking of the house and the lack of debts is important too, and even in your instance, what you're saying is kind of like, "Yeah, I have these places, I have all these things that other people don't have," but then you're not there right now, right? You're not there right there. You're not there, and you're not there at all those things, or you're not maybe even using all of your resources at the same time, so why not it just says that it's not that important, so why don't you go to the place that's important, Go to the
Yeah,
next level.
yeah, levitate up. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you stop what you're doing, stop the daily grind, and
Mhm.
and get out of it.
Right, in some form, even just mentally. Yeah, go to the next level, see what it's like, see if you can get there. That's even probably the main point is just, like, come with me, you know, tr come w come try to do it, at least. Attempt to do it, Even there's beautiful lines at the end that's just like, "Basing in stocks under the green frock, below the granite complex, come on, needed true grit to levitate." So it's almost like I almost feel like the weight of, like when you're talking about granite complex, there is also just, like, an automatic association with a bunch of weight on something, and you need the true grit, even probably more true grit if you got that extra burden to get levitated, even get to the basement level of the complex, and that's what I really love. It's like, it doesn't matter what level you're on, you can always go a little bit higher, and it doesn't involve anything besides, like, pure mental fortitude and probably support in some way, and that might be personal, it's just, like, it's very intriguing. I really like it a lot. It could have been the last track, but it's not.
It's
We
not
we got one left. What do we got?
everybody but myself.
Keith Marathon. Crowd control. Crowd control. Crowd. All you can say. Fuck off. Crowd control. I can't seem to plug myself in. The plants in our broken. Well, fix them. Do me a favor, cut your left and shut up.
I mean, I feel like the fake horns fits in perfectly with the fake piano.
Yeah, I like that sound. Know what it reminds me of? I think it's like almost like a a digital, like a fake harmonica.
Oh,
I-
I feel like digital oboe is much more likely.
yeah. Woodwind, exactly.
Woodwind, yeah.
Yeah. I can definitely hear that. I can definitely hear that. No, I like that a lot too. The way that track starts with the live recording and then they're like kind of yelling, kind of yelling. It almost seems like they're yelling at the audience, even though the audience is cheering at the beginning of the track is really fun and really cool fall dynamic that we definitely love. And then it just pops in with that Carl Burns beat. And I gotta say, I gotta give Carl Burns some props right here because of course we love the early Carl Burns fall experience when on those early albums, like when Carl Burns is in the band, it's pummeling, it's fucking forceful. It's only there's one and only person that plays like that, and all the other fall drummers know it, and they all say the same thing that there's only one Carl Burns and that plays like that. But when you hear something like this, well, that's how many years removed of those, you have to say Carl Burns is a very he's got a diverse set of skills when it comes to drumming or percussion or whatever it is. And he shows it off on this album. Like, and we haven't talked about him enough on this album. He has really fit in the groove so well where you're like, man, this is really working. And Simon Wilson Croft too. Like with the both of them working with the machines, working with this album and the dynamics of this album and the different parts, the different sections of different songs. It's just really fun to listen to. I really enjoy it. I think that's why it's also so re-listenable.
Yeah, overall, I mean, musically, in interest like oddities and what you kind of want
Mhm.
out of the fall. Every track is just kind of something new and something old and just carries you on and you're like, well, what's next? Like why would I stop listening after that one?
Yeah, and what is next is a very good question because what we have coming up next is just to look forward. The next LP we're gonna be looking into, the Marshall Suite, is gonna be an album that Steve and I are gonna listen to blind. It's one we picked out that we both agreed we had never heard before, and we're gonna listen to it blind right on the episode. We're not gonna do any pre-listens at all, and we're just gonna experience it for the first time. And it's a polarizing album. And people have told us equally almost that some of them are like, this has some good tracks on it, and then some people have said this is the worst album that they made in this era. So look forward to that. But for now, we gotta pop that tab, baby.
I've got one small spoiler.
Okay.
The Bigger Than Armpits band, all I can find is how to lose armpit fat in 1 week. I don't think we'll be able to do a special episode. I
Oh,
know you're all
okay.
very disappointed, but I found a solution for my armpit fat and back fat. They are sweaty armpits. What can I do? It doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to find this album, but
But if our fall heads have access to it, come on.
yeah, if you're out there, hey Andy Hackett, I know you're a listener.
Mm-hmm.
Give me those deep tracks. I want to listen.
Andy Hackett. One month We Are the Fall Patreon is prorated for that. Let's get it going because the fans need it. We like the side journeys. Everyone loves the side journeys, so let's get into that. Steve, what are you thinking for the Fall's 1997 LP Levitate? How many pints you want to go?
Oh boy. 6 pints.
6 pints.
6 pints. I loved it. I don't know why I chose six, but that's what I chose. 14 tracks. Yeah, 6 pints.
Okay. I'm feeling a little bit more generous. I'm giving this 8 solid pints. And honestly, there's something about it. Maybe I'm just like on the euphoria high of like the fall, like doing some kind of intriguing things again, where it's not like every re-listen I'm hearing the same thing. And I would even give it for this era, for the 90s, I'm almost gonna give it a 9 piner just for the 90s because I just enjoy it so much. And I almost want more of this, and I know there's some more of this later on, but I'm really curious what we're gonna get into in the next one. So, let's go with 8 pints. Let's enjoy it. I'm gonna be re-listening to it, spinning it a bunch.
Yeah,
But
I agree. It was good. I can listen to it again and again. Oh, 7 pints. We're going 7 pints. I'm feeling thirsty.
rebuttal. Oh, I like the rebuttal at the end. You're gonna pop another tab.
Yeah,
Okay.
popping one. I'm feeling. I'm gonna play it again, and I need one more to get me through.
Okay. Okay. I think that's gonna get a lot of the hate comments off of the boards. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's right in the passing territory. All right. But we had a lot of fun. We hope you all had a lot of fun. And look forward to the next couple because it's gonna get even more intriguing. And you guys, if you're not getting on these peel sessions, you gotta jump on these peel sessions because 'cause they're extremely worthwhile, and we have some fun going off the rails a little bit onto some side tangents. So, until the next time, we are the Fall.
We are the best.